I do want to read, by the way, I found on page 36 of the bill that came out of the three committees, section 246, nothing in this subtitle shall allow federal payments for affordability credits on behalf of individuals who are not lawfully present in the United States. That's in black and white in the bill. That's the only area of subsidy. So no, there is no subsidy. There are already people who are here illegally are already not supposed to be in Medicaid. Some people sneak through. Robbery is illegal, and some people still rob. But the bill does say very plainly, section 246 on page 36, nothing in this subtitle shall allow federal payments for affordability credits on behalf of individuals who are not lawfully present in the United States. Next.
All right, thank you so much for taking our questions here tonight, Congressman. I have a general point of view that H.R. 32 should be scrapped in total and starting from fresh. Primarily because I think the Congressional Budget Office, and contrary to what you mentioned a moment ago regarding funding, I think the Congressional Budget Office has indicated that this bill would practically bankrupt the economy of the United States government. But notwithstanding that, you've read twice now pertaining to illegals and the coverage that would be denied them. But on section 152, page 50 and 51, I believe there's a very detailed description of how illegals and immigrant illegals, in fact, will be covered under this legislation, which I would take significant umbrage with.
What section?
Section 152. Section 152.
Page 50 doesn't have 152.
Page 50 and 51.
50 and 51 of the text now is sections 451 and 450 or 451. So I don't see one. Let me find. It's not on the page you said in the final version.
What version do you have, sir?
The one that was just reported out, 3200, as reported out by the three committees. Let me find.
What was the date of that, sir?
I'll find you section 152, prohibiting discrimination in health care. Except as otherwise explicitly permitted by this Act and subsequent regulations, all health care covered by this Act shall be provided without regard to personal characteristics. That does not...
Continue, sir.
To implement the requirement, no later than 18 months after the date is enacted, to promulgate regulations necessary to ensure the bill that all health care and related services are provided without regard to personal characteristics, extraneous to the provision of high-quality health care and related services. But you notice it says, except as otherwise explicitly permitted by this Act. The language I read is that reference. In other words, this says no discrimination based on race or gender or sexual orientation or religion. What the bill says is, I read you a section that says no one who's not here illegally. Here's what it says. Except as otherwise explicitly permitted by this Act. The language I read, excluding people who are here illegally, is explicitly permitted by this Act. So that's why your reading of this is not correct, because this provision here is modified by that explicit permission, more than permission, mandate to deny it to people here illegally. So the anti-discrimination deals with what you generally have with anti-discrimination, with race, religion, sexual orientation, etc. As to illegal aliens, this says, except as otherwise explicitly permitted by this Act, and the language I read is the explicit permission to do the discrimination, as it were, in this case. All right, I'll keep reading. You want me to keep reading? Here's the next. No, but some don't, and some never will. But I want to keep reading. The next section says whistleblower protection. That's the next section. It has nothing to do with discrimination. So I kept reading, and the next line after what I read says whistleblower protection. It is a little odd to be accused of not having read the bill by people who object when I...
Special interest groups are trying to block progress on health care reform, derailing the debate with myths and scare tactics. Desperately trying to stop you from discovering that reform won't hurt Medicare, it will actually strengthen it by eliminating billions of dollars in waste and lowering drug prices. Tell Congress not to let myths get in the way of fixing what's broken with healthcare. Learn the facts at healthactionnow.org.